I say that I'm a cult torture survivor, not a cult abuse survivor, because what the cult did repeatedly, intentionally, over and over and over, was torture. And I think it's important that people know that it's torture. The cult uses physical torture, emotional, psychological torture, sexual torture, and spiritual torture. I'm going to get into a little bit of detail. If you don't want to hear, scroll on. So the cult uses physical torture repeatedly, and that includes electroshock, where we are often strapped into torture chairs or torture tables, and they repeatedly shock our bodies. It is a lot of pain. And then they can also, not every time, but often, shock our hearts, stop our hearts, bring us back, which is detrimental to our health, right? But they're also, at the same time, often using mind control messages to talk about us having been killed and then the cult bringing us back. A lot of the torture is used in conjunction with mind control messages, negative messages, or messages meant to hurt us, or to teach folks inside, with the DID, the dissociative identity, very specific jobs and roles. The cult also, for physical torture, uses needles. Needles under our fingernails, needles in orifices such as ears, nose, mouth, but needles throughout the body, which also really hurts. The cult can also do repeated drownings with us, or blocking off our air, strangling us, smothering us. They also hang us by ropes or chains, by wrists, by ankles, spinning us around, disorienting us. And there is much more that they do, including using high volume water, very cold water, or sometimes hot water. The cult also uses emotional, psychological torture against us. So that can include telling us that we are responsible for every child that is being tortured or raped or killed, and that if only we followed the rules better or did something better, this wouldn't be happening, that it's all our fault. They tell us that they might have one person in the cult who tells us that they love us and then pretend to rescue us and then turn around and rape us and torture us more or hand us over to others who will do that. They repeatedly set it up, asking us to tell what happened and then again torture us and punish us more. They set up elaborate torture scenarios where they are torturing or killing another child, and then every step of the way they are telling us it is because of what we did or didn't do or how we broke the rules. For psychological torture, they are also forcing us to either witness murder or be part of it, like actually kill someone. We are kids or teens. We are powerless against adults controlling us, physically controlling us, and psychologically controlling us, but they're telling us it is our fault and we are responsible. There is so much more to the psychological torture. This is hardly touching it. There is sexual torture. There is repeated rape. There is rape with tons and tons of men and women too, repeatedly over and over and over, and often in a ritualized manner, but not just that way. Of course, there is the trafficking, but there is rape, say, in a single night where they are doing it over and over and over again, where it is past feeling like you can survive it in your body. And the women will also use sometimes daggers or tools that have sharp points, many of them, to rip and tear inside. That is sexual torture. And there is spiritual torture, where they are telling us that God hates us, or that what is being done is because we betrayed God, or Satan, or that Satan is inside of us and they have to take Satan out, or that we are like Jesus and hanging us on crosses and telling us that we are reborn. Like, there are so many elements to that too. And for some survivors, they can then use spirituality in a good way. For me, it took that away. And that is spiritual torture. What the cult does repeatedly every single night. For me, it was every day and night. There's formal rituals and there's informal rituals, and there is all the torture. It is torture. And it is amazing that we survive, that we work on healing, that we work on getting safe. And once we are safe, we keep healing, and that we speak out. That is incredible strength and courage, but also keeping hold of our good souls. Survivors are strong. But what we went through is torture, and no one should ever, ever have to endure the torture that we did. And most often it is by our family members. For me, it was my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents. It was aunts and uncles. It was all of the extended family, plus neighbors, plus their friends. Like, there is no safety. And that is also another form of the abuse and torture. The healing, getting safe, it can make such a huge difference. And being able to speak out too.